This week, our assignment is a self-portrait inspired by Pablo Picasso. Your self-portrait needs to include some defining features so that it is recognizable as you. It also needs to have color and shape that expresses an emotion. So before you begin, decide on an emotion that you want to express in your art. And then think of the colors and shapes that can help show that emotion. The first thing that I started is I decided on my defining features. So these are things that help show that this is a portrait of Mrs. B. So I thought of some things that are distinct and define my face. One of the things is my brown hair. I have short brown hair, so I want to include that. Another thing is I have pretty big eyes, or people tell me I have big eyes, so that's another defining feature. And then I have a longer face and it's pretty round. So I'm going to try to include those things in my portrait. Since Picasso painted in abstract ways, he used a lot of shapes, and sometimes it's hard to tell who the person is, but there's always a few features where it makes it a little recognizable. So I'm going to start drawing. If you would like to use the roll of Picasso sheet as a reference to look at different shapes that you could draw, you can do that as well. That is included on the post for this assignment. But I want you to try to make shapes that will look like you. So you can look at the roll of Picasso sheet and look at the shapes they have for heads, but try to make them a little different so it looks more like you. I made a pretty long, rounded overall head shape. Then I made a longer, rounded nose because I have sort of a long, round nose. You'll notice that I am drawing in pencil first. You probably want to draw in pencil first as well because this gives you the option to erase. I didn't like the mouth that I created, so erasing was nice. So I could get rid of that and try something different. I don't expect you to get it right the first time, so that's why having a pencil to erase is super nice, because even me, as someone who's been drawing for a long time, doesn't get it right every time. I'm going to continue drawing the features of my face. I made up the features of my face, but if you would like to reference other Picasso portraits or the roll of Picasso sheet that we used for the game in our Google Meet, you can use that. But again, you want to make it look somewhat like you. So if your defining features are your eyes, make them look more like your eyes. So I am going to draw pretty big eyes, but I'm going to keep with the Picasso theme, and they're not perfect eyes. They look a little funky. Some other things to keep in mind: you can draw whatever you would like on the face. Sometimes Picasso has a lot of lines on his faces, or there's shapes like on the cheeks. You can add as much as you would like to make it more Picasso. I did mine pretty quick, so I didn't include as much as you could. Keep in mind the emotion you are trying to express. My emotion that I chose is excited. So if I was doing sad, my eyes might not look the way I drew them, and my eyebrows probably would look different too, as well as my mouth. So keep in mind what you are trying to express, because that is part of this assignment, and you will be graded on how you use your shapes and color to express the emotion you chose. Once I'm done with my head, then I can go to the background. The background area is just for you to fill in with shapes. These shapes need to express the same emotion that you are trying to express. So since I chose excited, I need to draw shapes to create some sort of pattern in the background that goes along with that emotion. So if I'm thinking about excited, I think of fun and kind of bold shapes. So I drew a bunch of big circles, and then I'm also going to do some wavy lines. To me, that says excited, and when I add color, that will help as well. So whatever emotion you decide, think of shapes that help express that emotion. Some people might disagree with what you pick, but as long as you are able to explain why, that's all that matters. The next thing I did was outlined everything with black Sharpie and then erased all of my pencil lines that showed through. Then I am going to start coloring. And remember, the color is super important. You need to use colors that express the emotion you are trying to show. Alright, so I skipped ahead. You didn't need to watch me color the whole thing because you guys know how to color, but this is my finished product. This is my Picasso-inspired self-portrait showing excitement. I used a lot of bright colors and different shapes that say excitement to me. So this is what you guys need to do this week. You have a full week to get it done. So I expect you guys to do even more than what I did. Mine is good, but I could definitely have added more shapes in my face, made it a little more wacky. I encourage you guys to look at Picasso portraits to get inspiration. There are so many out there, so many crazy ones. You guys can have fun doing a bunch of different things. And again, start off with a pencil so you can experiment and erase and try however many different things that you want. Again, have fun with this. Make it amazing. Can't wait to see them.